Welcome in, everybody, to the Press Row Show. It is the #1 rated pregame, intermission, and postgame show this side of the Mississippi, south of the Industrial Circle, north of the equator, west of Djibouti.
Djibouti?
Yes. African nation.
Yes, I'm familiar with it.
I am intern Andrew. Anthony SanFilippo with me. Kevin Kurz is with me. Russ tragically couldn't be here. I'm sure most of you are disappointed. And Ant, we have Kevin here because there's a couple questions that he posed to the people that we're going to get to in just a second. But first, as a director, Ant, you know how important it is to set the scene for people.
Yes,
correct?
we always got to set the scene.
We got to set the scene. Here's where we're at right now. This is the biggest game some are saying that the Flyers have had probably, other than the two Gauthier games against the Ducks, probably since that Capitals game, Game 82, a couple of years ago. Flyers currently 5 points behind the Blue Jackets for third in the Met, 5 points behind the Islanders for the second wild card, and we're now at the point of the season, I think, where not only we're paying attention to the Flyers, we're going to have to scoreboard watch around the league here. So Pittsburgh home tonight against Colorado, Boston is home tonight against Toronto, the Islanders are home tonight against Chicago, and then unfortunately for the Flyers, Detroit and Ottawa play each other. So one of those two teams is going to win. So that's where we're at right now. So we'll keep an eye on all of those scores throughout.
Yeah, but one of them's going to lose too.
Although one of them could still lose and get points anyway.
Yeah, you just hope that if you're the Flyers, you just hope that's not.
Knowing the Flyers' luck, that's exactly what will happen.
I think if you're the Flyers right now, you see that you have the 3 games against Detroit, so it wouldn't really be tragic if they kind of hang around and then you try to take care of business.
That was the debate that I got into with Ant before.
Yes.
I still think mathematically it makes more sense for Ottawa to win. Because then the score to beat is still 85 points. If Detroit wins, it goes up to 86. Now, if you can guarantee me that they win all 3 of those games against Detroit, then sure. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that.
No.
I think 2 of them are in Detroit, aren't they?
Correct.
Yeah.
But my argument is you control your destiny against that team, whereas you do not control your destiny against Ottawa.
I guess.
And the Flyers have a better road record than home record.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable that they're better on the road.
Substantial difference, too.
Yeah.
The other thing to keep in mind is that they do now 2 games in hand on the Islanders as well, which is helpful.
And you got one head-to-head game with them left up there.
Yeah.
I think that's the second of a back-to-back.
Yeah. Best case scenario is Chicago just plays their butt off tonight, wins 10-0, and they're out of gas for Thursday when they're here.
You got.
They don't have much gas to begin with.
Yeah, the Flyers tonight are relying on some teams that are not going to be very helpful, I don't think. Chicago being one, Toronto being one.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a lot of help, I don't think, from those teams.
It just doesn't seem to be much movement in the standings this time of year, right? I mean, how many times have we seen this?
Yeah.
So it's still unlikely.
Yeah.
But
well, let's get into this because this is going to be interesting. This is going to be an interesting thing that we do here on Pregame. So why don't you set us up here, Andy?
Well, before we get to it, before we get to that, I just wanted to just so we can let the people know. So, Kev, I know all the guys who were hurt are back in the lineup tonight, correct?
Right.
All 3. So Couturier, Barkey, and Glendening are all back in. That means 3 guys have to come out.
Yes. Grabenkin, Wilson, Andre.
So Grabenkin's the one that's a little bit of a surprise to me. Like, I look at him as kind of a guy on this team now, like a regular. I'm a little surprised he's the one that's coming out.
So I would say yes and no. So that 4th line in the Ducks game was really good.
Yeah.
You know, that was Hathaway, who's rejuvenated lately. He's kind of pushed Grabenkin out of the lineup. Now, could you put Grabenkin in for a Carl Grundstrom? You can make that argument.
Yeah.
But I was talking about this with somebody else. Michkov and Cates looked really good when Grundstrom was on their wing rather than Barkey. And it might just be because Grundstrom is more just a guy than Barkey. Barkey's real tenacious, really gets in there. But because Grundstrom is just a guy, Michkov can assert himself a little bit more. And that can be a good thing the way he's skating lately, right?
Yeah.
And I know everybody thinks I hate Matvei Michkov, right? So,
there we go.
But, Michkov's best game on that road trip was the LA game.
Yes, it was.
And so I think, put Grundstrom back in there and let's see if this is a game that Michkov can really have an impact because he has been having an impact on a more regular basis. And I think that's probably what Tocchet was thinking when he put them back together.
Yeah, you're probably right.
He scored the shootout in the LA game, didn't he?
Yeah. He scored the game.
Yeah, but he had that nice play on the wall to Noah Cates, who got it to Sanheim. I mean, that was Michkov's best game. That might have been his best game since the break, actually.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree with you on that. So those are the changes tonight. We had one that was kind of curious, but other than that, not unexpected that Emil Andre and Garrett Wilson come out. It was just a question of Grabenkin. But here's the thing I want to kind of get to. By the way, for the people that are asking, where's Russ? Russ has a full-time job, and his full-time job requires him to travel sometimes, and so he's up in New York. He will be back on Thursday. So we did not fire Russ. We did not kill Russ. We did not. Anyway, he's still around, unfortunately, sometimes, but he's here. Okay, so Kevin did a thing, and this was prior to the road trip,
right?
That you put this out, which is kind of that to me is the most interesting facet of this, because the results to me are results that I would have thought these questions were asked after the road trip, but they were asked before the road trip,
right?
So you got to remember, the Flyers had not just won those 3 games. And you put out a series of questions on the Athletic and had people do a poll.
Right.
You got 2,700 responses.
Yeah.
It's good number,
good.
right?
Yeah,
it was really good number. And I will tell you, as somebody who used to work in a strategic marketing field for a short period of time, that we did some work with some polling companies. That's a pretty large sample. It's a pretty big sample size you got there.
We already know that the smartest writers are reading The Athletic and on Patterson.
There we go. That's 100% correct. You're 100% correct on that. Smartest fans are reading us on those 2 sites. So I want to play a little bit of a game here. I want to read the questions, have intern Andrew guess at what the response, the top response is, or what the number response is, and then we'll talk about it.
All
right.
So when this question was posed, the Flyers' most recent game was the overtime loss to the Blue Jackets.
Right.
The shootout loss to the Blue Jackets. Okay.
Yes. Okay. All right. So
it was pretty doom and gloom at that point.
Yes. So first question: is the Flyers' rebuild on the right or wrong track? What do you think was the higher percentage, and what do you think the percentage was?
I would guess most people said no.
They're on the wrong track. And what do you think that you think that percentage would be?
68.
Wow. I'm not surprised that you guessed that, because you work on Snow the Goalie, where that seems to be the recurring theme of our commenters. However, Kevin, right track 58.6%. Wrong track, 41.4%. Yep. So a majority, and a pretty substantial majority, think that the Flyers are on the right track.
Yeah, it's a notable majority for sure.
Yeah.
The one thing I learned doing these is it filters out a lot of the noise you see on social media from the people that are overly miserable, right? Or from the blogger with 2,000 followers who wants to have a hot take on everything. And the building's on fire. And
hold on. Russ is in the StreamYard.
What's he doing here? Oh, no.
Gentlemen, I am reporting live from the streets of New York.
We're doing something. We had something planned.
No, I heard, and you were doing actual analysis and nonsense. I want you to know, I've been asking the fine folks of the Big Apple if tonight is a must-win for your team, your town, your Philadelphia Flyers. And they all told me to go to hell. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's good. That's right. That's appropriate. That's
intrepid reporting.
So, Russ, did you hear the question we just asked? Did you hear? So, Kevin Kurz is with us, obviously, and he did a poll on in the Athletic. 2,700 people responded, and here's one of the questions. I'm not going to make you stay for this whole thing, but here's one of the: is the Flyers rebuild on the right or wrong track?
Mm-hmm.
Intern Andrew said he thinks it was 68% said wrong track.
Oh, I think it's the inverse. I think fans are fickle. So you're going to get 60+% say on the right track.
Yeah, but keep in mind that this poll was taken before the winning streak.
Oh, well.
Oh, that's huge.
Are we closer to 50-50?
What do you think?
Are we close to 50-50 there or what?
Well, I was asking you what you think. but then you cut out for a second because you're walking on
I'm
the street.
thinking, well, if it was before the win streak, then I have to assume that more than 50% thought that it's on the wrong track.
Okay.
Right. So 55%.
The answer is 58% said right track. 58.6 to 41.4. Yeah, and Kevin was pointing out.
I'm not totally shocked, I guess.
Kevin was pointing out, as I've said many times on this show, that it's a vocal minority. And you play into it, but that's okay.
40% saying wrong track is not an insignificant number.
Well, no, it's not. It's not an insignificant number. I mean, it's a number.
Well, don't let SanFilippo hear something like that. But no, like, you have to keep in mind, though, right? Like, the people who are reading Kevin's stuff are doing so because they are 100% invested. They are actively paying money for his content. And I would assume that means that there's a pretty decent swath of people who spend money to go down to the arena. And as such, I would expect that there's a very decent portion of the fan base who subscribe to Kevin's stuff that would say, right track.
I mean, yes, but of course, but that's who the base is. That's who their fans are.
Well, why would there be a difference between athletic people and our people?
Well, because our stuff is
our content's free.
Our stuff is free.
Oh.
That's the only difference, right?
All right. Your camera off?
He did because he was hoping that it would help him with the.
There we go. Sorry. Now I had to pull up a map real quick to make sure I don't, go wander into an unhoused encampment.
There you go. Here's the next question, and this one was a good one too. And how confident are you in Danny Briere's GM? With five being the most confident, one being the least confident.
Again, like based off people, it's like 2, I would think.
I would say 4.5. Like I don't know if halves were acceptable, but I would think like a 4.
1 through 5 is the number.
4.
Okay. So 4 is the highest percentage. 37.8% said 4. So if you go 4 and 5 combined, that would be over 45%. 1 and 2 combined is 21%,
okay.
And then 3 is 33%. So a third are saying it's average, and then the other 2 are it's a vast difference between supportive and not supportive. That didn't surprise you at all, did it?
No, that seemed about right. Yeah.
Right? I mean, that one seemed about fair. I think that's fair.
Oh my God!
Russ is killing it right now with all
the
background.
Look at us.
Yeah, your background noises.
I mean, my God.
All right. Here's one, Russ. How would you grade Rick Tockett's job?
Tockett's getting a 2, and it's inflated because
it's A through F this time.
Oh,
Kevin changed it up on us.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that.
Changed it up on us.
Man, that's tough. If I'm going off of the cross section of fans that are kind of hitting there, C might be like a really positive version of this because of the, loved him when he was a player. I'm gonna go against what my brain says though and say D.
You said D?
Yeah, I think that they're gonna say C, but I'm gonna believe that the fan sentiment around Tocchet is more negative, even with the people who think things are going the right direction.
I'll say C, like getting decent results, but I think a lot of people are still hung up on the whole Michkov thing.
Yeah,
so I'll say C.
All right, so Russ D got 21%. Got okay. D, right? And F had 11%. So you got 32%.
32. Okay.
Right? Say D or F, all right? A only got like 3.7 or 4%.
Okay.
All right. And then B got 25.4. So that's
B got 25?
B got 25.4.
Wow.
Right? So that's about a 29%. So you got about 29% who say A, B, and you got 33% who say D, F, and then C was the highest total at 38.4.
Okay.
Are you surprised by? I think that doesn't surprise me. I think that's the grade that I would have expected the fan base to say.
Yeah, that's probably about right. I mean, listen, the coach is always going to be. I think every coach for every team is always going to be.
They're killed in every sport, right?
Yeah. So I mean, and there are legitimate things to criticize. We're talking about. I don't believe Matt Michkov is one of them. I think you look at the offense and the shots on goal and the power play.
Yeah, those are
That's fair to criticize
for sure.
that. But
For sure.
on the other side, this is fair to say one of the best defensive teams in hockey. So
yeah, for sure.
you weigh those two things. I mean, I guess it grades out to a C. So I was not surprised by that one.
Yeah.
Now, if they make the playoffs, I think everyone would probably skew more towards a B.
Right.
I mean,
If they sneak into the playoffs, it's hard to sit there and say it's worse.
Yeah.
Right.
I almost wish that there had been a way to get this cross section of fans and then send them like an email blast after the fact, like after the road trip, and have them resubmit their scores based on that 3-game win streak. I tend to think that you're right. That job would go up.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, maybe slightly. I don't know. I mean, fans are fickle. I agree with you in the general. Like they go with how the wind's blowing, but I don't think it would. I don't think it would have changed that much for that grade. For that one specifically, I don't think you would have seen much more for Tocchet getting a higher grade. And keep in mind, this was also for the rest of the coaching staff, not just Rick Tocchet. So some people might have taken it that far down the path. And,
a lot of Reardon fans out there.
Yeah. Do you think he stays next year? Or do you think he gets offered a head coaching job somewhere? I think he's got a lot of interest around the league. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets another head coaching job.
I wonder how many, there seems like there was just a lot of turnover with coaches, though. How many jobs are going to be open?
Yeah, well, it might only be a few, right? But still, I think there might be interest. I think there might be interest in him.
Maybe
I do. I'm going to skip the next one just because it's too specific to a year, but I'm going to get to this one. How concerned are you with Michkov's regression this season? And the options were, don't think he's regressed at all, not concerned at all, slightly concerned, or very concerned.
I think slightly concerned is a pretty conservative answer. That would be my guess.
Yeah, I agree with intern.
Yeah.
The sky's not falling, but I think your head is in the sand if you're just ignoring the fact that he definitely isn't a sophomore slump.
Right.
I think the people who are super down on the coach are probably looking at it going, it's not Michkov's fault that he regressed. And then the people who don't think that anything is Tocchet's fault are probably like, well, it's somewhat concerning, but he's still a good player.
Yeah. So that was the highest answer, slightly concerned, 54.7%.
Yeah, that one makes sense.
That one makes sense, right? Although the 23% who said not concerned at all, I think that they're a little head in the sand.
Yeah.
A little bit, right?
Yeah.
And 3% said they don't think he regressed at all.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, what the hell are they watching, right?
Sign those people up for season tickets, man. Get them in now.
Find it. I'm surprised the Flyers don't reach out to you to find out. Can we get the IP addresses on those folks?
I don't know if they were thrilled with the last question, to be honest.
Yeah, well, we're going to get to that one. We're going to get to that one. Should the Flyers sign Dan Vladar to a long-term contract?
So my question for this is, what's the definition of long-term?
Well, I'll let Kevin answer that question.
I don't know. 4 years, 5 years.
I don't know that I would go longer than 3.
Okay. So
wow.
And that's
I left it open-ended.
I'm trying to differentiate
between
my opinion and what I think the people are thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt 3 gets it done, frankly.
Yeah, 4. You probably have to go 4.
I think you'd have to go 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think you probably have to go 4.
If I'm the agent, I'm sure as hell pushing for more than 3.
So what do you think? Yes or no on long-term contract, Russ?
No. I would assume that there's a big enough swath of people that look at Bjarnason and Zabregan and they say go short term. So no to long term.
I agree with Russ, actually. He talked me into it.
63.7% said yes.
Of course they did. Good God.
I'd sign him to a long-term contract.
I would sign him to 4 years as well. Because you think about it, you say you got the next 3 years, he's your number one, and then 1 year, he's your backup. Or even maybe you go 2 years, he's your backup. Whatever, that's fine. It's not saying that he has to be the number one the entire length of this contract. It's just saying that he's part of your organization for the length of that contract.
What are you doing in goal if he becomes an unrestricted free agent? Let's say he has another season
next year
like this. What are you doing in the off? First of all, if he becomes a UFA, he's going to command at least a 5-year deal somewhere else. And then who's your goalie for the Flyers? Zavragan and Bjarnason are nice. And I guess you can even throw Kolosov in there, are prospects. But when you find a number one goalie that looks like this and fits in so well in the room, and frankly is one of the team leaders, I think you lock him up.
Yeah, I'm with you on that,
I
Kev.
have big Darth Ladar guy, but it's the first year that he's done this.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying
He's been able to shoulder this load. Like, let's not lose our minds here. Like,
yeah, but
he's gonna get a big number no matter what. You know what? For once in the Flyers' lives, it would be nice to see them like play this thing out going into next season. And like, look, if the guy earns that contract and he earns a 5-year deal, and now you're paying him, say, $2 or $3 million over what you would pay him right now, and then fine, it's money well spent. But like, you got to insulate yourself at some point. Like,
but here's the question, though, Russ, and here's where I say you got to be careful with doing it that way. If he goes into next season, let's say you don't do it this summer. Let's say you wait until the next season to sign him, and he gets off to yet another really good start, and he's playing just like he's played this year. He's one of the top goalies in the league. Do you think him and his agent look at it and go, "Oh, let's just sign here now. Don't worry about it," or do you sit there and say, let's get to free agency and see what the market will bear?
Yeah,
I think it depends. I think it depends on what the number is, and it depends on how much he likes being here. Like, again, you don't know, and even in his case, you want to believe that you can, withstand the strain and the stress on your body of a full season. But like, if you're him and you've been a career backup, even if you have another really good start to next year, and you're getting offered money that is far beyond what you expected to get even last year, even this year, and you can get locked in for 4 or 5 seasons, are you really going to look at that and say, yeah, I'll roll the dice on myself for the rest of the season? He's one injury away going into unrestricted free agency of this thing going sideways. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's as much of a gamble as you think it is.
Okay.
He's also younger than I thought that he was like 31 or 32. I didn't know he was only 28. So that sways my opinion a little bit as well.
I'm going to skip the question about who should be the backup goalie next year because it's seriously going to be someone other than Sam Erison or the young guys in the AHL. I don't think either one of them will be up here. I think it's going to be someone else,
or
right?
They'll just play with 6 skaters.
Yeah, or that. On 25 games a year, they'll play without a goal. Positive or not, like it or don't like it, the trade of Brink for Jiricek. What do you think?
It's positive.
I think positive.
Yeah.
Easily positive.
78% said positive. Right?
I think I was the only one that loved Bobby Brink.
Yeah, I know. You love that handshake.
It might have just been me.
You love that handshake a little bit too much. The Dvorak contract, do you agree with it or not? What do you think the percentage is?
I mean,
43% say it was bad.
33.
43% say it was bad. 57% say it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, again, going off of what our people say, they think it's the worst thing ever. But, like, I've been wrong about that so far. So I'll say
what Russ just said, basically?
Pretty, I'll go, yeah, okay, sure.
Okay. It's the exact opposite.
57 said bad.
58 said it was not a good contract. 42% said yes, it was a good contract.
We stink at this.
These people make no sense. And that's, like, seriously, this cross-section of fans, no offense to Kevin Kurz, paying readership, they make no sense. not a damn bit of sense. How do you say, we think that this thing is going in the right direction, we believe in the GM, the coach is kind of hit or miss, we think that the star players, mostly fine, and then say, well, of all the things right now, Christian Dvorak's a stupid signing. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
There's cognitive dissonance. That's, Kevin, call your next story Cognitive Dissonance, a deep dive into the Flyers' psyche.
There you go. Russ is giving you ideas from Manhattan.
I mean, I try to ask questions that I personally don't know how they're going to respond.
Yeah.
So, and that was one of them. I had no idea.
Yeah. So there's two more I want to address. I
gotta go.
Good.
Is there one that's like really, really electric?
Oh, this one's juicy. I'll do. Okay. You want to stick for one more?
Okay.
And Russ, before you leave, you have to give us your prediction as well.
Flyers win. I think the Fly guys are going to the playoffs.
Wow.
I think this is.
Talk about fickle.
No, I'm not. I think it's 4-2. 4-2 Flyers.
I'm picking the Flyers also. We're not doing our predictions right now. But.
Yeah, I'm the only one who's not picking the Flyers tonight, but that's okay.
Well, way to be a negative guy, you shill.
All right, there you go. Yeah. All right, so Kevin posed this question. Imagine that there's a trade for Austin Matthews available in the summer. Would you include either Matvei Michkov or Porter Martone in that trade package? Here were the options that he gave. Yes, either one. No, both are untouchable. And then one situation where it's Michkov, yes, Martone, no, and one where it's Martone, yes, Michkov, no.
Those people are going to say Michkov, yes, Martone, no.
You think that's the most?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think, Andrew?
I think they'd be willing to move either to get Matthews.
Okay. So you say yes, either one. That was 18.6%. Russ's answer of Michkov, yes, Martone, no, 22.8. The overwhelming one was no, both are untouchable, 55.2%. Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts.
Well,
crazy.
It's actually reassuring.
It's reassuring?
Yeah, because we at some point need to have a conversation about Austin Matthews coming off this injury, his age, and all it would take to actually acquire him. That's not the guy you go after. I really don't think he is.
Okay.
His age? Isn't he like 27?
Yeah, I know.
I look at the knee, and I'm throwing age in there, young Andrew. When you have a 22-year-old who's available via restricted free agency that you could try to offer sheet, I'd much rather make that gamble than gut this team. Think about where Toronto is right now. Think about all the issues Toronto has. If you have to trade a Michkov or a Martone, a high pick, at least another roster player, maybe a Forster, right? Like that was one of the rumored packages out there. And then like a Bonk, how are you going to have a better team on the ice than Toronto does? How do you have a more viable path to making it a better team than what Toronto is right now? It doesn't make sense.
Okay. All right.
God bless. Hey, that Wally guy who said I'm the most negative guy, that guy can pound sand. I hope he enjoys his mom's basement. See ya.
Thank God. I just had to get rid of him there at the end. Yeah. Had to get rid of
What
him.
a guy. Russ Troy, live from the streets of New York.
He always has to insert himself when he's not needed. Typical Russ. All right, last question I want to get to. And I recommend everybody go to The Athletic and look up this story because it's a really, really well done by Kevin.
Thanks.
Do you want Comcast Spectacor to sell the team? Yes or no, Andrew?
I'll say no. I don't think people really care who owns the team.
53.1% said yes.
That figures.
You got that one wrong, too.
It was pretty close to 50-50.
It was close to 50-50, right? But you had a rough day with this one.
I tell you, I stink at this.
Honestly, I don't know if I would have done any better if you asked me before the results came in.
Yeah.
It's sometimes it's so hard to get a feel for what people are thinking when you look at goddamn Twitter all day.
Yeah.
So I try to do that less for my own sanity, but also
I agree. I agree with you.
like this.
I agree with you. Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? Like the fact that it's 50-50, I think that you would say that with pretty much almost any ownership of almost any team that is a corporate entity.
Yeah.
That is a corporate entity. Obviously, there are some owners that are individual people who you think very highly of. You say, you could be my owner forever. There are some individual owners who are terrible owners. They, get rid of that guy, whatever. But when you talk about the corporate entities that own teams, you're probably 50-50 in all. Because as you accurately pointed out, like there's never an issue with them paying to the cap. Right. You never have to worry about money. Right. Whereas some teams can't even pay a floor.
Especially now, how much it's going to go up over the next
Right. Like, I mean, you want that Comcast money.
Yeah, I mean,
there.
You think, let's say, on a hypothetical, the Flyers want to go out and offer sheet Leo Carlson in the offseason. You're not going to worry about them throwing $15 million a year or whatever.
Right. Exactly. That said, the other side of the coin is when it's corporate ownership, they're just not. They don't have a good feel. For what needs to be done, or for the fan base, whatever,
or they're impatient,
or they're impatient because it's all about the bottom line, right? So there's that too. So I mean, I can understand why it's a 50-50.
But realistically, the 50% that want them to sell the team, what do they think is really going to change?
It depends on who the owner is, right? Depends on who the owner is.
I wonder how that would have been, because, listen, we all interact with Dan Hilferty, and we see him out with fans. We see how good he is with fans in the media, everywhere else, behind closed doors even. I think he's probably had a positive impact on that over the last couple of years, frankly. Yeah. I don't know that because it's hard to quantify, but I wonder if this was taken 2 years ago, it would probably be more like 70-30 sell the team, right? What do you think?
Yes.
You were around for that. I wasn't here, but I mean, that's the sense I get.
Yeah, you're probably right. So anyway, some other good questions in there for you to check out in that story by Kevin. Definitely worth looking it up on The Athletic. So if you have an Athletic subscription, find it. It's worth it. Absolutely. Kev, thanks.
buddy. Yep.
Thanks for coming on.
Guys. Yep.
Appreciate it. Kevin Kurz from The Athletic. So there you go. All right. Do we want to get to we got 5 minutes. We don't need to hustle to predictions just yet. I guess, although we could give them out, because then when Bundy gets here, he'll give his keys.
Yeah.
Right? So let's give out the predictions.
While I find them, Russ said what, 4-2 Flyers?
Yeah, Russ, who's now suddenly back on the bandwagon again. He's unbelievable.
I listened to his show the other day. He's like all the way bought in, I think.
Like, it's unbelievable how he changes like the wind. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, he was getting praised by everybody for killing this team, right? For 3 weeks. Yeah, we got this big profile. The only person in Philadelphia who will say the right thing. Blah, blah, blah. Mr. Media, Mr. Journalism. He's doing it the right way while everybody else sucks. Now, all of a sudden, he thinks the Flyers are going to make the playoffs. Meanwhile, I'm going to sit here and tell you that I'm picking Columbus tonight.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm picking Columbus tonight is the Flyers are not a very good team when they play the first game after a road trip, okay? Especially one that went to the other side of the country and then had to come back. You're going multiple time zones there. I'm taking the Blue. I think it's a close game, and I think that the Flyers could win. And my pick that's being put out is Columbus 3-2. If you're a bettor, I like that under 6. If you're looking to gamble on the game, take the under, right? Maybe I'm not so sure about the outcome. I'm going to take Columbus, but I'll tell you, I like that under.
Funny you say that. I got a stat ready here.
Go ahead.
Chet Greaves, 11-1-2 in his last 15 games with a 225 GAA and a 915 save percentage.
Yeah.
Low scoring tonight. With that said, I'm picking the Flyers 3-2. Understood what you said about the road trip thing. But the reason I'm swaying towards the Flyers and away from the Blue Jackets had that 12-game point streak that just snapped the other night against the Islanders. It's very, very hard, I think, to have that long streak just end abruptly like that and then just get right back on the horse and start winning again. Usually doesn't work that way. So that's why I think Blue Jackets lose again. Flyers 2 huge points in regulation tonight. They climb back into this.
I'll be shocked that this is won in regulation either way. I hope the Flyers do take it in regulation. I just can't imagine that there's not an overtime written on this thing tonight somehow, some way. I have a bad feeling about that, but I do tend to agree with you. I do think the Flyers win this game tonight. I think it's low scoring again. Columbus didn't score a goal against the Islanders last game out. It was a 1-0 final for the Islanders. They snapped that 12-game point streak they had, and I think it's going to take a monumental effort to get right back up on that horse. So I'm taking the Flyers tonight. I think I said 2-1.
You said 2-1.
You did
2-1 Flyers.
Yeah, you have a low-scoring game as well.
I think it's low-scoring. Both of these
all
games
three of us have it at a low-scoring. Even Russ, who goes with 4-2.
That could be an empty net.
But Russ's 4-2. That's the number. The over/under is 6 for this game.
6.5.
6. It's 6 on the nose for this game. The over/under.
Oh, so you can tie?
Well, you get your money back. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought they didn't do that anymore.
No, they do it.
Okay.
They do it.
Just much I know.
Yeah, it's a 6 on draft. I think it was DraftKings had it at 6.
Okay.
So anyway, whatever. I don't bet, so I'm just going off of somebody who asked me what I thought of the over/under, and I gave him the under, and they said the over/under was 6.
I think so too. Which means it's going to be 8-5 tonight.
Yeah, there you go.
Bundy, you got 3 keys for us?
Yeah, let me find them here.
Yeah, it's time for Bundy's 3 keys of the game.
All right, 3 keys tonight. Number 1, scoring first. The Flyers scored first in all 3 games on the West Coast trip and were rewarded with 6 points and 3 wins. Getting the game's first goal tonight could likely dictate the winner, as both teams played well with the early lead. Number 2, the power play. Flyers' power play came through against San Jose last game out. Christian Dvorak's early third-period goal was the decided game winner. The team needs its power play to generate opportunities that could be the difference in making the playoffs or not. And finally, solid defensive structure. Flyers have done a great job lately keeping the play to the perimeter of the ice. Vladar has made the routine saves when needed, but defensively the team has been in as good a form as they were to start the season. In tight playoff-style type of hockey games, your D-zone system's working to its best is going to be critical.
So there you go.
3 keys. 2 would be too few and 4 would be too many. 3 keys is perfect. That's perfect.
3 is the magic number.
It is.
So there you go.
And that's how many goals I think the Flyers will score to win.
There you go.
3, baby. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. national anthems are about to start. We'll be back, obviously, for first intermission. I have the stat of the night. The StatCast will be on the program. It's a huge game, everybody. It's a huge game, and like I said, we'll be scoreboard watching around the league.
Enjoy it. That's the most important thing, everyone. Enjoy tonight's game.
We're finally getting some more intense crowds here, which makes the press row show a lot more fun to do.
Yes, I agree.
This is going to be a really, really interesting game. So hopefully the Flyers can get the job done. And as Bundy said, scoring the first goal really important. So we'll talk to all of you in just a little bit. Welcome back into the Press Row Show, the number one rated pregame, intermission, and postgame show this side of the Mississippi, south of the Arctic Circle, north of the equator, and west of Djibouti. And this place is alive. This place is alive. The captain, Jean Couturier, puts the Flyers up 1-0 after 20 minutes. In the game, Bundy, you said it. They got to score first, and they did.
Yeah, scoring first is critical in this game, and I think it's gonna stay a low-scoring game. But getting that first goal, I think is going to prove huge for whoever comes out on top of this one. I really feel like the first goal, the team's going to have the best chance of winning this hockey game tonight. The Flyers got the first goal.
Yeah, there was a lot of low-event hockey in that first period. I mean, a couple things aside, obviously Jet Greaves actually had a really good period in goal for Columbus. He stopped Owen Tippett on the breakaway.
Yep.
He stopped
Noah Cates
twice. Well, the first one, the wraparound, there was the penalty shot, which I can't believe was a penalty shot, but they had a penalty shot. But the wraparound, he makes a skate save, and then he stops Cates on the penalty shot.
Yeah.
So Greaves had a really good period for Columbus. But other than those three chances, I really felt like it was a kind of a low-event period until the fourth line got out there.
Yeah,
and
big hit, right?
Coots gets a big hit on Adam Fantilli on the wall. Like really, really plastered him into the wall. And that keeps the play alive in the offensive zone. The puck gets back to the point for Ristolainen. He waits till Glendening gets to the front of the net, takes the shot. Glendening makes a nice play to slide it through the goalie, and Coots goes to the net as well off the wall, and he's there on the back door to put it in easy, in a wide-open net. So really, really fine play by the fourth liner.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. The Flyers done a great job defensively, reloading their man in the middle in the D zone, which is making really a hard stuff for Columbus to get any plays and attack the middle of the ice. So the Flyers have done a masterful job so far in that first period. I think they only gave up 3 shots against that entire period.
That is correct. And the first one was a great save by Vladar.
Yes,
right out of the gate.
Right out of the game. It was like the first shift of the game. He makes a right pad save after a turnover. The other two I barely remember.
Right.
Like they were not very, very high danger chances. Flyers playing really crisp defense tonight, really sound, making some good passes. I give them credit. I like the way that they're played that first period.
Yeah, I thought the Flyers played a really great first period. Didn't give up much at all. I think Columbus has had a hard time getting after the forecheck a little bit in this game. The Flyers have moved the puck efficiently out of the zone and had chances going the other way. Like I said, Owen Tippett with a breakaway early in the period. Flyers outplayed Columbus that whole period. We'll see if they can keep doing that in the second period.
Somebody said tough period for Sanheim. I don't know. I didn't know.
I didn't notice them have a really awful period, no.
There was one other. Rob South. Was it a penalty shot because he hooked him 2 separate times?
Well, it was a penalty. I don't think I don't think it shouldn't have, I'm not arguing that it wasn't a penalty. It was a penalty. I don't think it should have been a penalty shot, considering where he started with the puck, right? I mean,
right.
To me, that wasn't clear and, whatever the phraseology is, Look at this guy.
Looks like he just got back from a frat party.
Yes, it does.
Or he's going the one.
The one half of the shirt tucked out, right? The other side tucked in. That was a treat.
We get a cast of characters.
Yeah, we do. Always do. But no, I just didn't think it was penalty shot worthy. I think it should have been a 2-minute power play. I didn't think it was.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a penalty shot either, but we'll take it. Unfortunately, Cates missed it. Nice try. Greaves made a good save on it again.
Yeah, he's been really good that's why Columbus is where they are.
Yeah,
it's a lot of because of their goaltending. So
I'm wondering this, and if you think this is a stupid idea, then please tell me.
Yeah.
If you guys are the commissioners of the National Hockey League, your co-commissioners, Anthony SanFilippo and Chris Therien.
Yeah, be a better league.
Somebody comes to you and proposes a rule change. That when that Noah Cates, type play happens, a team is given the option to decline the penalty shot and instead accept a 2-minute power play.
I like it.
I like that opportunity.
Obviously, the Flyers would never do it because
you're going to take the penalty shot every time. Every time. You will never ever give up a penalty shot.
It depends on who the player is.
That's why I think the strategy comes in.
Yeah, I don't. You should be able to pick anybody on the team.
What if it's a fourth line guy that gets hauled down? A guy that does Garnet Hathaway gets pulled down on a breakaway, and then you have the option: either Garnet Hathaway takes a penalty shot, or you get a 2-minute power play with your best players on the ice.
I'd still take the penalty shot.
Would you really?
I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I might choose the power play in that instance. but I get it.
You're going with a 15% clip
Yeah,
on a
know.
power play.
I know.
Right?
I said the Flyers
and then-
obviously would never do
That's
it.
this
Right.
team.
Right.
Yeah,
In
but the
general.
Admiral-
Oh,
well,
in
the
general,
Admirals
it depends what your power play is. But on this team, I mean, what are your odds of making a penalty shot? It's got to be better than 15%, no matter who the player is.
Maybe.
But I'm saying, but again, my question was, if you're the would you allow that rule change?
I would.
Okay.
I think it's a good rule change. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's a good option to give teams, no doubt.
Right. Whether, like I said, you can take the penalty shot if you want. I'm saying you want to give a team the option to decline and say, we'll take the power play instead.
You know what? If you really want to do it the right way, you want a penalty shot, you get to pick anybody on your team to take the penalty shot.
That's too soccery for me.
Well, that's the way it goes, right? You get to, I mean, then you put Zegras out there.
Anyone
Right.
anyone on the bench, or does they at least have to be on the ice?
No, anybody on the bench on your team gets to take the penalty shot. It's not right to the guy that got the breakaway, but who cares?
So
You're trying to win a game.
our buddy Jake points out that in the women's league, there's a rule that if a penalty shot is on a penalty kill, if you score, it negates the power play.
Is cool.
Really?
Penalty shot on a PK, if you score, it negates the power play. Okay.
Yeah, it kills the power play.
Okay.
Wow, what a momentum changer that would be.
Yeah, that's
You
interesting.
give up a goal and then you lose your advantage.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wow.
Okay.
I wonder who came up with that one.
Yeah. Hey, why don't you do your stat of the night, and then we'll do an around the league because we got some interesting scores.
Yeah,
people are
going
putting in
on.
the chat. It looks like it's all good news so far.
Yeah.
Stat of the night, though. So the Flyers, coming off of that great road trip that they had, that ran their road winning streak this season to 7 games right now. Tied for the league lead this season. The Bruins and the Lightning both had a 7-game road winning streak at some point.
I think it's only the 4th time in their history that they've done it.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, it's only the 4th time that the Flyers have ever had a 7-game road winning streak.
Pretty impressive. And then, I think the first 6 were all in extra time, right?
Every one of them, yeah.
Yeah, that's an NHL record.
The Sharks was the first one that was in regulation.
Yeah.
And then for Columbus, Kirill Marchenko, this is his 281st career game. Comes into tonight with 199 career points. So assuming that he gets another point at some point in the next 19 games, he'll become the second Blue Jacket in team history to get to his 200th career point before playing 300 games. Obviously, Nash is the other one. He did it in 273 games.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you weren't here, Ann.
Yeah.
The previous Flyers Blue Jackets game a week ago or so.
Correct. It was a Saturday. I was in Tampa with the Phillies, Yankees.
My stat that night was Werenski and Panarin are the only 2 players in Blue Jackets history to have back-to-back 70-point seasons, which begged the question. So I went back and looked, and Rick Nash, not only did he never do it in back-to-back seasons, he only had one 70-point season his entire career.
He was always hurt, right?
Yeah.
So I brought it up to Russ and Bundy. The 3 of us were all very surprised at that. You don't sound like you're that surprised, though. Because I would have thought for sure that he had more.
Yeah, there was a lot of times he was injured, and I just kept thinking, like, man, if this guy ever stays healthy, he's going to be dominant. And he would miss games, like not a ton of games, but he was always like dinged up, you know. And he didn't have a lot of help.
Well, he did win on the Rangers, though, didn't he?
No, but I'm saying he didn't have a lot of help on those Columbus teams, like
Right.
to score to get more points.
So how long was he even in Columbus?
8 years, I want to say.
Then he went to New York, right?
Yeah, I want to roughly. So
Okay.
yeah. Anyway, let's get to the around the league scores in games that matter to the Flyers. First one's not a good one. Bruins up 1-0 on the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a surprise.
Maple Leafs are a lost cause.
Although the Leafs are out shooting the Bruins in the
Right.
period,
Yeah.
9-5 in that first period. Hurricanes, Canadians. Not to say that the Canadians are a team you're going to catch, but they're still kind of, sort of, possibly there. 2-1 Hurricanes at first intermission.
Okay.
Out shooting the Canadians 16-4 in the first period.
Wow.
That's quadruple.
16-4. The Senators Red Wings. So this is the game where so Andrew and I had a debate about this pregame, Bundy. We'll see what your take is on this. Senators are up 1-0. Andrew says better for the Senators to win because they're a point behind the Red Wings. I say it's better for the Red Wings to win because the Flyers have 3 games left against Detroit and they would control their destiny against the Red Wings, whereas they don't have any games left against Ottawa.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I would. You say prefer Ottawa to win. I would prefer Ottawa.
Well, so then
to
you
win
agree
that.
with him.
Thank you.
I do. Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
All
Because
right.
you can knock Detroit. I think Detroit's not making it.
I think they're in
gonna follow
trouble.
it. Yeah,
I think
big trouble.
I think
yeah.
they're in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we have this is the other two are the bigger ones. The Chicago Blackhawks are up 3-1 on the Islanders.
Yeah, that's a significant one.
That's a big one. First intermission, a lot of shots in that period. 25 shots combined by both teams. But the Blackhawks, they were down 1-0 too. Anders Lee scored the first goal of that game in the opening minute, and then Chicago scored twice in the final 2 minutes of the period to extend it to 3-1. So that's a big one. And the other one is the Avalanche are up 4-1 on the Penguins.
Yeah, I just saw them score 3 goals in a row right there.
Yeah.
On the TV that goes to us at the Snow the
So-
Goalie Sportsbook.
Yeah, so that score was 1-1 with 4.5 minutes to go.
That's crazy.
And then Colorado scored 3 times.
Remember, Pittsburgh blew them out in Colorado not that long ago.
Yes, they
Yeah.
did. Yes, they did.
So apparently the
They're getting
Avalanche didn't forget that.
The favor's getting returned.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
So so far so good, I think, for the Flyers around
Yeah.
the league.
Yeah, I agree.
I do think that Montreal score is significant because they're at 86 points also.
Yeah.
So they have the same amount of points as the Penguins. So here's a question, actually. What do you think is the more likely path for the Flyers into the playoffs? Is it finishing top 3 in the division or getting one of the wild cards? Because right now it's about the same amount of points.
Finishing top 3.
Okay.
Because really, when you look at it, you have 2 games in hand on the Islanders, and you have a game against them.
Yeah.
Right. And then we've already talked about the Penguins' schedule, how brutal it is. It's still going. Like they're still in the middle of this brutal march. So like you have a better chance of those 2 teams falling. And now obviously you're chasing Columbus too. There's a chance you win tonight, you get a little bit closer to them. I think you're a better shot at finishing 3rd in the division than you do at getting the wild card. But it's about even. It's about even.
Yeah, I think it is too. It's just like I said, like the problem going to be going forward is like they're chasing 5 or 6 different teams. Those teams are going to end up playing each other.
So
at some point.
in the wild card, you're chasing more teams because Detroit and Ottawa are in the other division.
Yeah, and Boston and Montreal.
Right. So whereas in the division, you're chasing fewer teams. So to me, it's a little bit easier to get in your division.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's just that just that thought on that. But
so far so good though, I guess. I don't know.
15 NHL games today.
Yeah, big night.
Big slate of games. Yeah.
Big night tonight in the NHL. So
Bundy, how's your bracket looking?
Nah, it's busted.
mine's not. I went chalk. There's no upsets in the NCAA tournament anymore.
There used to be. There's always a couple, but not like there used to be.
No more.
No.
Thank you, NIL.
NIL did that. Yeah.
Just high point. Speaking of brackets and such, the NCAA, the hockey tournament obviously got announced on Sunday. Bundy, your Providence Friars are going to Sioux Falls to take on Quinnipiac.
Merrimack, Quinnipiac, and Providence, right?
Yes, and then North Dakota
is going.
Yeah.
They're going all the way out there to Sioux Falls when they could have gone to Worcester.
Right, exactly.
With those 3 teams.
Penn State's going to Albany. They're playing Minnesota Duluth, and then the game that most of the Flyers fans, I would assume, are going to have their eye on Thursday. I think 1:30. Michigan State playing UConn. And that's the big one because
Michigan State should win that.
I would assume, but you never know. And that's the thing. If UConn manages, that would be huge. Getting Porter Martone here as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that won't be long either.
A debate going around that I've been hearing about, obviously, except for the Frozen Four, moving the first couple of rounds to campus sites rather than doing these neutral site things. Because it doesn't really make a lot of sense if you talk about selling tickets to have Providence, Quinnipiac, Merrimack going all the way out to South Dakota for a first and second round game. Don't you think it would make more sense to have them on campus somewhere?
Yeah, why would Providence is playing Quinnipiac? Why would you have to fly to Sioux Falls just to play Quinnipiac?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right, yeah, they need to change that.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, another little note for everybody. The Swedish League playoffs, I think they start today.
Yeah.
Started today. Jack Berglund.
I saw something with him.
Is playing in that, right? I wouldn't be surprised if he gets signed to his ELC if they're eliminated quickly.
Okay.
I think that there's a real chance of that. Not to say that he's going to come in and play right away this year games. I mean, I think that they would probably make him go play in the A,
Right.
right? But it's interesting, and I wonder if that happens. Do they think that he's an NHL player next year?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know what their thoughts are of him.
Right.
He's looked really good in the World Junior Tournament, playing in a top Swedish league.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think they're definitely going to give that some thoughts for sure. He's been impressive.
Yeah. I wonder. I talked to somebody who suggested that right now he could play fourth line center in the NHL.
Jack Berglund?
Yeah, right now.
Okay.
But obviously, you don't want him to be a fourth line center. You want him to be higher up. So, do they think that he's got a shot to make the team next year? That's the thing that I find interesting. Like, I don't know if they were going to let him go one more year in Sweden, and they still could. I mean, they could still sign him to the ELC. If he doesn't make the team, they could loan him back to the Swedish league, right? I mean, that could still happen. Just curious. I think it's something to keep an eye on.
That was one of the questions in one of the Kurz polls, I think, that we didn't get to.
Yes.
Which prospect are you most excited? Well, obviously, other than Martone.
Yeah, I'll pull that one up.
I've talked about Berglund a couple different times on this show when I've been in the driver's seat. I think he would be my answer.
Okay,
Because
so
I think he's going to be like the net front presence that they've been missing.
So the question he asked, and just to give you a little background on this, Bundy, Kevin Kurz did a poll.
30 seconds, by the way.
2,700 people replied to the poll for The Athletic. And one of the questions was, after Porter Martone, which of these Flyers prospects are you most excited about? And the options were Barkey, Berglund, Bonk, Bump, Jiricek, Luchenko, Nesbitt.
Mine would be Barkey.
Okay.
It would.
He's second. He was 22.8%.
Okay.
I'm almost at the point where he doesn't really count as a prospect.
Well, I mean,
he's here.
He's here, but he is still technically. I mean, he's still.
Is it going to be Berglund number one?
Actually, wasn't. It was Bump. Bump was number one.
Oh, okay.
Berglund was third though, at 16.3.
Okay, so who's
Buck
number
drop.
one among
Buck
people
drop.
that's not on the team?
Berglund.
Okay, that's great. All right, see you in a little bit. All right, we are back live in the Press Row Show, the number one rated pregame, intermission, postgame show this side of the Mississippi, south of the Arctic Circle, north of the equator, west of Djibouti. And here's the thing. Flyers have actually looked pretty good for, 37 out of the 40 minutes so far. Yet they find themselves down 2-1 going into the third period, which it happened very, very fast. The Blue Jackets scored 44 seconds into the period, and then again at the 2:28 mark of the second period.
They outshot the Flyers 6-0 in 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. They had a great start to the second period. I wasn't expecting that to happen. 2 quick goals in succession. And who's the catalyst around both of them? Zach Werenski. He gets the assist on the first one, then he gets a goal in the second one.
The Michigan guy killing me again.
Yeah,
they never stop.
I sit here and say, the first goal happens, right? It happens. They had a 3-on-2. They pass it to the wing. Gets the shot over Vladar's glove. Okay, fine. The second goal is the one that bothers me, Bundy, because they just left the middle of the ice wide open for him to come down into the high slot and get that shot. That's a tough shot for a goalie to stop.
Right.
But nobody's pressuring Werenski on the shot.
Yeah, that's because he came from out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He got the return pass, and nobody could account for him, and that left him alone to shoot the puck on Vladar. Great shot.
Yeah,
great shot.
Really great shot. It was just kind of really disappointing that they didn't have somebody ready to mark him. You got to keep your eye on him at all times because he's such a great player.
He's down in the corner, like in the offensive zone. He's playing like a forward sometimes, and it's hard to account for a defenseman that switches sometimes with the winger.
Yeah,
and comes back, but he's just such a freelancer out there, and you just never know what he's going to do next.
Yeah,
he's a great player, having a great year, and I think he'll probably win the Norris.
Well, I voted for him last year to win the Norris.
Did you?
And he was, I think, runner-up, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I don't know how he's not the Norris this year. I think you're right. I think that he's probably the Norris Trophy winner this year.
Yeah.
I got another couple weeks before I have to submit that vote. But
how many people do you vote for? 5?
5. You picked 5. Yeah.
So who are you going with right now? Like him, you have to put Chikrin in there, right?
I'd have to really, really kind of look at it and think about it.
Why do you got to put Chikrin in there?
He's 20-something goals.
It's not only about offense. I like a player that's more well-rounded.
You can't even give him a 5th place vote. Fine.
I might. I don't know. I have to look at it.
You got Makar, you've got Bouchard at Edmonton.
Yeah.
I know he's very weak defensively, but he's got a ton of points.
That's the thing. I kind of avoid guys like that, though, Bundy.
What about Schaefer?
He's another one. You can put him in the top 5. He's unbelievable.
Kid's unbelievable.
You just give him a Calder right now, though, right?
Absolutely. That's gone.
That's 100% his.
Yeah.
100% his, yeah.
Somebody asked a question here for you, Bundy, right before we went on. How do you call a cross-check and an embellishment?
Yeah, I don't know. Crazy.
I hate it.
I hate that. Yeah, I don't understand.
It's a penalty or it's not, right? If it's a penalty, then how can you sit there and say, oh, that guy exaggerated it? It was a penalty.
Well, I guess 2 things can be true.
No. It's not a penalty if you're embellishing. It's not. Call the embellishment. That's fine. You want to call embellishment? Call embellishment. You can't sit there and say, oh, well, I think that he made it look worse than it is, but it was still a penalty. Like, how do you know how the player responds to something that is illegally done to him?
Yeah, I know.
Right? You're reading a mind there. If you want to say somebody embellished something to try and make you think it was a penalty, that's fine. I have no problem with embellishment existing. I have a problem with using it as a crutch to keep it so that you don't give a power play to one team or the other. And I think the referees do that too often.
Okay. Then there was the other. Did you agree with the call that gave the Flyers the power play? And I think it was Juleson that got pushed, and it looked like
I hated that call.
He tripped over Sealer.
I hated that call.
Vladar.
Yeah, well, he got bumped by Matthew Olivier.
Yeah.
And that was just a shove. Just because the guy fell, he called a penalty on it.
I think he got tripped by his own play. I think he tripped over Sealer's skate and then went flying into Vladar.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a penalty.
Yeah, I thought that was, but we'll take it, and then of course the Flyers don't score on it, but that's great. Speaking of Olivier, he's the one that scored the first goal for Columbus. Like I said, 44 seconds into the period. Ant, you said it in first intermission. The Vladar he made that great save right out of the gate in the first period, and then you couldn't even remember another save being made.
Yeah.
So let's say that's like 19 minutes of the first period, then an 18-minute intermission so in total, almost a half hour of real time that he had to face a real scoring chance. I'm assuming that's why maybe he was a little bit slow on that goal 44 seconds into the period.
Yeah,
it's hard to get into a rhythm if you're a goalie.
100%. I mean, you got to be ready to go to start a period. I mean, even if you had 30 shots in the first period, he had 17 minutes between periods to get a breather, right? So you got to be ready to start a period. I'm not going to criticize Dan Vildar. He's been the team's MVP this year. That's probably one, though, if you ask him, he'd say, yeah, I should have made that save.
Yeah, I think Vladar wanted both those goals back in that period. He didn't look happy after either one of them.
Yeah, I mean, a goalie's never happy, though. But if I'm sitting there and I'm saying, which one should he have made? Probably the first one versus the second one. So that's just my take.
Philly Sports Experts 1949. Bundy, why does his front office say to all the fans that they don't have those foundational pieces? Do they just look at it differently? I just don't get their philosophy.
Who, you talking about the way the front office looks at the current team?
I'm assuming that's what he means when he says FO.
They haven't, yeah, that's front office, but they haven't had an opportunity to pick in the top three. So, I mean, the players you have, you're gonna have to make hay with them. The free agency, I heard Jonesy talking the other day on WIP, and they were talking about, the plans for this team. The problem is now, for most teams in the league, you just can't do it by free agency anymore. Everybody's signing their own free agents.
Right.
And so that takes that off the board. So unless you're not picking in the top three in the draft, you're just not getting those core pieces that you need down the road to be able to win with that high-end skill.
It was pretty telling that I think a lot of people were theorizing that they were going to go after a big-name free agent in the upcoming offseason, and then those guys just never hit the open market.
They just they never do, and they haven't for a while.
So like Edmonton with McDavid, Minnesota with Kaprizov, Vegas with Eichel, they were never up for grabs. And those respective teams did a good job by locking up their guys while they had the opportunity to do so.
Yep.
And then this one as well, Phil Originals. We talked about Michkov a little bit in pregame. That Kevin said that he had a really, really good game against Los Angeles.
He did.
Invisible tonight. Literally has done squat in the biggest game of the season.
He's been quiet.
There's a lot of that this year from him.
Yeah, he does.
Not breaking any news.
No, and the thing is with him, when he goes bad, you just don't notice him. He may as well not even be playing some nights. But when he's going good, that's when you really, you pick your head up and say, wow, there's something there. But tonight, he's been invisible. He's been quiet the entire night. That doesn't mean the third period he won't break out, though. There's still a third period to play. But thus far in 40 minutes, haven't really heard his name or said his name too much in this game tonight.
Also, if you're looking for improvement from him, it looks like he does have more gas in the tank later in games than he did in the first part of the season.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
He's been better in overtime lately as well.
Yeah, he has. He's played well of late, I think. He's done a good job. He hasn't been perfect, but he's played pretty good. Had a good West Coast swing. Did a pretty good job, but tonight you really needed him, and you just haven't really noticed him out there. His skating's off tonight.
Yeah. All right, should we we might as well do the trivia then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Time for intern Andrew trivia.
Yes.
Are we playing you in? Is that what you were waiting for?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, buddy. We got to play him in.
Boom, 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 boom.
It's not the same without Russ, but that's okay.
Oh, it's better without Russ.
Russ is the catalyst that keeps this going.
Oh, my Lord. Go ahead.
So the 2016-17 season for the Philadelphia Flyers, late November into December, they had a 10-game winning streak. And I don't know how they managed to do this, but I think they became the first team in NHL history to have a 10-game winning streak and still not make the playoffs. Big part of that was literally at the exact same time, they weren't really going high up in the standings because simultaneously the Blue Jackets were ripping off a 16-game winning streak of their own.
I remember that.
They finished one game short of the NHL record, which was the 92-93 Mario Lemieux Penguins that won 17 games in a row at one point.
Wow.
So the Blue Jackets ended up going undefeated the entire month of December. So of those 16 games, Sergei Bobrovsky won 14 of them. Who was the Blue Jackets goalie that won the other two?
Wow. It's a good one. They've gone through so many backup goalies there prior to that. Jeez. There's been a lot of goalies in Columbus. That's not going to come off the top of my head.
16-17. Backup
Who
goalie.
was a backup goalie? 16-17. First name, someone just wrote it down, but put Steve Mason. It's not Steve
No,
Mason.
it's
No.
not.
He was
Mason
already here.
Yeah, he was here by then.
No, he was in Winnipeg at that point.
Oh, that's true. He was out. He was here and out.
Out already. Okay.
Yeah, he was here and out. It wasn't. No, because he's not been around that long.
Don't look, but somebody got it.
All right, I won't look.
I'm not looking. I don't know, Andrew. I could look and I still would never blurt it out. I don't know.
Do you give up?
I have no. I'm just trying to think of who their backup goalies were. I'm maybe going to ask for a clue at some point.
He last played for the Lightning in 2021. I guess he was on the Stanley Cup winning team.
So he went from Columbus to Tampa?
But Columbus, Toronto, 1 year in Carolina, and then Tampa.
No, I don't got it.
No, I don't got it.
Curtis McElhaney?
Yeah.
Curtis McElhaney.
I saw the name on there, but it never resonated with me. I was going to just blurt it out.
Wow.
Yeah. He won a cup with Tampa?
He said he played 12 games for the Lightning that season. I don't know if he played the playoffs at all, but
No, but if he's a backup, he still wins the cup.
yeah.
Interesting.
Stanley Cup champion.
Tough one. That's a tough one.
I was debating between that. I had another one written. I wasn't sure which one to go
The
with.
Columbus Blue Jackets are a tough team to get trivia questions for.
Do you want to hear the other one just for fun?
Yeah, why not?
Sure. Go ahead.
Adam Fantilli is one of 4 freshmen that have ever won the Hobie Baker. Do you know the other 3?
Paul Correa.
Yeah. All right, this was probably the better question.
Did Celebrini win it?
Yes.
Yeah.
He did win the Hobie, yeah.
Yeah.
Celebrini, Correa, Fantilli, another freshman. Yeah, you got me on that. What
Era.
What era?
2010s.
Oh, wow.
Did he go on to play in the NHL?
He sure as hell did.
Is he still playing?
He sure as hell is.
.2010s, and he won the Hobie Baker as a freshman. Is he in the Eastern Conference or Western Conference now?
West. Drafted by an Eastern Conference team.
Eichel?
It is Jack Eichel.
Jack Eichel won the Heisman?
No.
I mean, the Hobie, yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant, yeah. I didn't realize that Eichel won the Hobie Baker that year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attaboy, Amadeo. You got it.
Amadeo got it?
Jack Eichel.
Good shot. Out of way, Amadeo. Yeah, that's good.
That's a good trivia. I like that one better.
I like that one better than Curtis McElhaney.
Yeah,
right,
me too.
You redeemed yourself with that one.
All right, well, that's why I prepare a backup question, just in case. Yeah, there's 1,000 players that played for both the Flyers and the Blue Jackets just recently. But I get sometimes it feels a little stale to just ask about, like, trades. So I try to think outside the box on that.
No, it was fine. I like that. The second one was a good
I
one.
like that. That was good trivia.
Yeah, but that winning streak the Blue Jackets were on was so annoying because the Flyers kept winning, and then I would check the scores, and it's like, oh, the Blue Jackets won again, too.
If I remember correctly, too, the game when they were trying to tie, they got blown out, right?
Yes, it was 5-0 into the Capitals.
Yeah,
They
they got blown out in the game that they were trying to tie the record.
All right. Bundy, this is maybe the most important question that we've asked you so far. How important are these 5 minutes of the
Well,
third
this
period?
is the most important period of the year so far for the Flyers. First 5 minutes, if you don't score, you can't get yourself out of sorts because of that. You've got to keep playing. You've got to somehow run the fine line of playing good defense and then still finding some offensive gear. And I think there's been opportunities for the Flyers in this game. They just have to bide their time. And when they get those chances, settle down and cash them in. But the play at the end where Barkey had the 2-on-1, that's got to be a shot all day long. He elected to pass, and it went behind the player that he passed it to. So, those are just plays where the Flyers got to settle down and relax. But the first 5 minutes is really important to set the tone in this period.
I agree.
And by the way, Amadeo asking a question if I wanted that clip. Yes. clip that.
Which one?
It was you.
Heisman?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Hobie, Baker, Heisman. It's all the same
Clip
crap.
that. Clip it. It's a good one. It's a good
Jack
one.
Eichel won the Heisman.
Yeah.
Not exactly. That's all right.
I just want that little piece because Russ can play that. And like when somebody says something that they don't mean to say. Just like, Jack Eichel won the Heisman?
I didn't realize he even won that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Hobie Baker. That's unreal.
It's good.
All right. Well, players are coming back onto the ice in just a second. We'll be back for post game. You're AP, right? But you're staying up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what you like when you're the AP guy. A close game.
I hate it.
That could
And
go anyway.
doesn't want 3 goals in the last 5 minutes.
Now, I don't care if there's 3 goals in the last 5 minutes. I could just say so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so scored. I just like to know what the when I'm the AP guy, I like to know what the outcome is in advance. Like with 10 minutes to go or 5 minutes to go in the game, at least give me something I can say, okay, I could get this started. You know, I hate overtime. And my God, I hate a shootout as an AP writer.
Here's some scores, guys, updates after the second period.
Yeah.
Ottawa's up 3-1 on Detroit.
Okay.
Toronto leads Boston 2-1.
Holy
That's
smokes.
important.
At the end of the second. End of the second, Chicago beating the Islanders 4-1. Colorado beating Pittsburgh 5-1. And Montreal beating Carolina 3-2.
Oh,
At
Montreal
the
took
end of
lead
the second
now.
period. Yeah, they got the lead now.
Yeah.
So
Mostly good news.
how about
Flyers
the Devils are
capitalize.
beating Dallas 4-1 too? Not that means much.
Yeah, not really.
Devils are still
Yeah, and I mean, probably driving the Devils fans crazy that they're winning. Yeah, Flyers capitalize here. Capitalize. All right, we'll be back for postgame. Talk to you in a little bit.
Yeah.
Chris Russ Show. It's #1 rated pregame, intermission, postgame show, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This one stings a little bit. This one stings. I don't know where do we start. I mean, the Mason Marchment goal that we didn't know was a goal, and then it turned out it was a goal. Turned out to be the game winner. The Flyers get the Drysdale goal to make it 3-2. Made it interesting there at the end, but they just came up a little bit short. Just ran out of time. This hurts.
It would have been better if they started to have that push a little bit sooner in the third period, because that last 5 minutes, I felt like that was the kind of the offense you needed to see from them. And I know that they were getting a little bit desperate, and sometimes you try some things that you wouldn't normally do because it's a little bit outside of your structure. But maybe if they would have tried that a little bit sooner, maybe they would have had an opportunity to get the tying goal.
Yeah, they pushed hard at the end, right? Like they really did. Yeah,
they didn't push hard enough earlier, and I think that's what
they had a good first period, an excellent first period, and they kind of went away for the next 35 minutes.
Yeah,
of the game, where Columbus, I thought, just kept coming. They pushed it in the zone. They make simple plays to the net. Flyers didn't play a bad game. They just didn't play enough of a game to try to get this win tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think Columbus might just be a team that nobody wants to play right now.
They're a good hockey team.
They moved into second place in the Metropolitan Division tonight.
Did that Pittsburgh game go final yet?
Well,
it's 5-2.
5-2. There, it's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be final.
Chicago beat the Islanders 4-3 in regulation. This was the night you wanted. This was the game. This was the night you needed the points.
You got all the things that you needed going your way from the other teams, and you didn't cash in on it. That's the thing that's going to be the kicker for them, right? It
hurts, but at least if there's one silver lining, the fact that they got as much help as they did around the league, at least it keeps them afloat. Because if everyone else had won tonight and the Flyers lost, then
they would have been done.
You'd be sinking.
Yeah, I mean the loss
above water.
The loss doesn't hurt as much as far as affecting playoff odds because of everybody else losing, but it's a kick in the gut because you look at it and say,
what could have been?
Yeah, you could have been within 3 points of the Island, or 3 or 4 of the Islanders. 3 of you. If you would have won the night,
yeah, because they're at 85.
You would have been within 3 points of the Islanders with a game in hand, or 2 games in hand, and a head-to-head against them still. Like that would have been a real. Then you all of a sudden you're sitting there going, okay, maybe this is real. Maybe this is a team that can make the playoffs, and you got that momentum and the mojo going. So to lose this game, I think that's why that one hurts.
Yeah, this one stings a lot
more.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Marchment goal right away?
I didn't. Anthony did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. No.
As soon as it went in, I was like, oh, I think that went in.
It was one of those things where it bounced out so quickly, but you didn't hear it hit post and you didn't hear it hit goalie.
No, it was very quiet. Yeah. Anthony picked it up right away and he told me, and then I was thinking to myself, well, let's see if we hear the horn, and the horn came on 5 seconds later.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Marchment celebrated it right away. They were still playing, and he was selling right up against the boards. But there's that. The other thing that I think Kurz brought it up in pregame. The Flyers, I think record-wise, are better on the road than they are at home. Bundy, you having played as long as is there some kind of psychological explanation for that, or is it just coincidence?
For what?
The fact that the Flyers are record-wise are better on the road than they are at home this year.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Just coincidence?
Just some years you have good years on the road and other years you don't for some reason, you know?
Okay.
It's not like you can manufacture a good road record. Either you go in and you play well and you win, or you don't. And there's some teams that are good road teams and some teams that are just terrible road teams during the year. The Flyers have been good this year.
That's the thing. It was my stat of the night. They've won 7 games in a row on the road.
This is really a frustrating loss coming off that 3 wins out in West Coast and the California trip. I mean, this is a game. Even tonight, if you found a way to get a point, just a point would have helped. But man, this is a tough one tonight. It sucks. It really does.
Here, Amadeo, 2-8-4 their last 14 home games.
Montreal's
that's
up
crazy.
5-2 over Carolina, so that's they just got an empty net goal, so that's over.
Okay.
Ottawa beat Detroit.
That was regulation, though.
That was in regulation.
Right.
Yep.
All right. At least we got that. Penguins are down 5-2. What was the other one? Oh, the Blackhawks game go final?
They won 4-3.
4-3.
Okay.
The Blackhawks won in regulation.
Well, that's the thing. That's the Flyers' next opponent here Thursday is Chicago. So, you would like to think a bottom feeder like them would be a gimme, but it's not, clearly.
No, they got a
giving teams
star
fits.
player like Bedard. They came in, I think, was it last year, and they beat the Flyers in a game they shouldn't have won. And so the Flyers got to be ready for Chicago because they got young talent playing there now, and they're just playing freewheel hockey right now. So
yeah, that's. I mean, if the Flyers can get a win in that, if they are able to bounce back from this, then they're back into the thick of things. I'm not sure if we have to track any games tomorrow, if and the Islanders or any of them are playing tomorrow or not, or what. But,
I can tell you here real quick.
Okay.
Tomorrow is Bruins play the Sabres tomorrow, so that one's worth tracking.
Okay, and Buffalo's good. That's good.
Yeah, and then Thursday. Well, you're probably not. The Blue Jackets are probably not within reach at this point.
Out of reach, yeah.
Yeah, but the Penguins play the Senators in Ottawa on Thursday.
Yeah, and that's another one where it's like two teams that are playing each other that hurts.
And the Islanders are at home against Dallas.
yeah, that's no easy game.
Yeah.
Dallas is down 4-3 to Jersey at the end of the second period in Big D.
So yeah, imagine what Dallas is thinking if they come off of they lose a game to the Devils at home.
Right.
There'll probably be a little bit of piss and vinegar with them when they go into the island
and the other game that means something tonight too. Washington's losing 1-0 to St. Louis.
Also, I forgot.
Capitals are still alive and well too.
The Flyers have 2 in hand on the Capitals though, so I was less worried about them.
Yeah.
Capitals points percentage is not as high, so
correct.
There's that at least, but again, you got to be careful.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's the thing. The Stars are here Sunday, so again, you have to hope they exert all of their energy on the Islanders, just like hopefully the Blackhawks did. But yeah, that's that. So hi, Mike.
Yeah, there's a lot of activity going on up here.
4 teams that didn't make the playoffs last year are in playoff positioning this year for in the Eastern Conference.
So who are they?
Buffalo, Columbus, Boston, and Pittsburgh. And then, last year, Ottawa is in 8th right now. They made it last year. The Islanders didn't. Detroit didn't. The Flyers didn't. Washington did make it. The Devils did make it. Florida did make it. Toronto did make it. And that's a lot of teams those are teams that are way down at the bottom.
I think I read the NHL record is 8 team turnover from the previous year. So how many in the West are in playoff position right now that weren't last year?
1, 2.
Goodness gracious.
3 teams in the West are in that weren't in last year. The teams that made it the teams that are out this year in the West that were in last year, LA's just in 9th. They're sitting out. Winnipeg is out and St. Louis is out.
Yeah.
Okay. New teams would be Anaheim would be new. I guess Utah is
Utah's new. Yeah, Utah's new, and Nashville is new. They're in 8th right now. Nashville.
Oh, they've been hot.
By the way, talk about a team that had a hell of a turnaround this year is the Nashville Predators.
Yeah, they had a bad start again.
Oh, they were terrible to start the season.
Awful.
And now they're in a playoff spot. So good on them. Good on them. By the way, just in case people are at home are wondering, I don't know what was going on, but there was a
good night.
The line to get into the elevator was pretty long, and there was some chattering going on, and it got really loud, and it's kind of an echo chamber right across from us where the elevator is. So that's all that was. It wasn't anything crazy. It was just was loud conversation between the event staff and some fans.
Boston lost to Toronto, by the way. It's 4-2. Toronto got the empty net goal at the end.
All right, well.
That puts Boston in a real bad predicament, too, heading into Buffalo tomorrow night, where Buffalo just doesn't seem to lose.
Yeah.
They'll be a scary playoff team, Buffalo. Make no mistake about it. They can make some ground.
Oh, those fans are starving.
Yeah, and Buffalo has a really good hockey team. They're a good team.
They're not beating Tampa in the playoffs.
You never know, though, Ant. You never know.
I just don't I think when push comes to shove, Tampa's got a team that's built for the postseason.
They may not play them in the first round.
Well, they're not going to play them in the first round.
Right.
First round, whichever one. I think Buffalo is up I think they're up 4 points on Tampa.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Tampa and Montreal.
Tampa, right? Montreal, probably, and Buffalo gets whichever wild card team. But it's probably going to be Buffalo, Tampa in the second round, and that's where I don't think Buffalo gets past.
Yeah, it'll be tough.
Yeah,
it'll be tough.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this with the John Cooper era Lightning. So they win the Stanley Cup in 20 and then again in 21. And then 3 of the next 4 years, they don't win, but they were eliminated by the team that won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Obviously, they made the final and then lost to the Avalanche in 22, and then 24 and 25 eliminated by the Panthers.
Correct.
So they're a weird team to like gauge in terms of like how good they are as a postseason team.
Well, they're a very good postseason team.
That's the thing.
Okay, they're a very good postseason team. If you beat Tampa in the playoffs, you're a good team.
Yeah.
You're a good team.
Fair, Florida beat them last year.
Yeah.
2 years,
Two years in a row. 2 years in a row in the first round.
Yeah. 2
I
years in a row.
said 3 of the 4 years. The 1 year that they weren't eliminated by the team that won the cup, it was the year that the Maple Leafs finally broke that curse and beat them in the first round.
That's right. But Tampa was also banged up that year.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Is there any other like things or players that stood out that you want to talk about, or no?
No, I mean,
Michkov.
Some guys had had a good finish at the end, but I mean, he was invisible most of the night. I thought Barkey was just okay on that top line tonight.
Yeah,
don't think he really mustered up a lot.
I think Alex Bump had a tough game.
He had a rough game tonight. Bump did. I didn't hardly notice him out there.
Yeah, he had a couple turnovers, a couple plays. Barkey he had a 2-on-1 at one point, and he had a clear shot.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. The second period,
and he tried to make the pass.
Yeah, you just got to shoot that puck.
Yeah, you got to shoot that right. So
Dvorak had that grade A opportunity shorthanded right at the end of the third period there too.
Yeah.
That would have been nice if he had scored there.
But didn't happen.
Amadeo said Zegras was horrible.
I mean, I think what you do is I think fans are going to get fired up and blame everybody. Right? They're going to say this guy stinks. This guy stinks. He didn't show up. Whatever. Like all the people who say like Travis Konechny's not showing up for a big game. Like I don't think he had a particularly great game, but I also don't think he was terrible tonight. You know what I'm saying?
But as their best forward,
he needs
to rise up to the occasion.
Sure, yeah. I agree with that. He needs to be their best guy.
Yeah, he's their highest paid guy. He's their big guy.
Yes.
He's got to rise up for these occasions. This is the biggest game of the year, and there are some guys that didn't take quite a big enough bite of the apple.
There are several of them tonight. Several of them tonight. Yeah, for sure.
All right, so where are we? Tomorrow's Parks
Casino, 6:00. See you guys. Have a good night.
Yes.
So it'll be all 4 of us.
I'm assuming Russ is back. He didn't say that he wouldn't be there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
Thursday night
back here against the Blackhawks. The thing, this
good luck getting into the building that night.
Right. Oh, that's right. It's the Phillies home opener.
Phillies home openers. You're gonna have 47,000 people across the street for a game that starts at 4:15, and then this game starts at 7.
It's that time
That's
of year.
ugly.
Good luck getting into if you're coming to the Flyers game on Thursday, you better get down here for like 5:30. Like, do not try and get down here close to game time. You're going to miss 2 periods.
Yeah, it'll be that bad.
It's going to be a nightmare Thursday. So just be smart if you're coming down. Do not come late. Come as early as you possibly can.
All right. So yeah, this one definitely stung a little bit, but beauty of hockey.
It stung a lot.
They got a chance. They got a chance again in 48 hours to right the ship. So we'll see what kind of resolve that this team has. Yeah, I'm good if you guys are good.
We're good. We're good.
Thank you everybody for watching. Rate, review, subscribe, share, all of the things that Russ tells you to do. Follow us on all of the socials. And then, thanks to Russ for joining us. Oh, that's right, Bundy. You missed it. Russ joined us from
him walking on the street like a clown.
He was a total clown.
He just looked like a jackass.
You know what the best part about it was?
You know what? If you're not here, just sit it out. Don't stick your face on TV walking the streets of New York like a jackass.
Even from New York, his voice had to be heard.
That was the thing. And the worst part about it was, like, first of all, he didn't tell us he was doing this. And so then he's in there and he's sending private messages in our chat to Andrew saying, "Let me in. Put me on the screen. Let me in." And it's like,
don't ever let him on again when he does that. Ever. Just leave him hanging. We don't need him on. He adds no value when he's walking the street. He looked like Big Brother out there. Except he'd be little brother because he ain't big enough to be a big brother.
Amadeo, cut that up. And with that,
thank you. All right. Thank you for us. Thanks to Kevin Kurz for joining us pregame. For Bundy, for Ant, I am intern Andrew. We'll see you again tomorrow, Parks Casino. And then Thursday is the Flyers try to right the ship against the Chicago Blackhawks. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Talk to you then.
See you guys.